The history of the many Chinese American veterans who have served in the American military from the Civil War until the present has sometimes been forgotten or ignored. We feel that sharing their stories is important in recognizing the contributions and sacrifices of Chinese Americans, as well as Asian Americans in general, to our country throughout its history. In this short video, we have selected a few stories to help make the general public more aware of the service of Chinese American veterans to this country. Among the roughly 200 Chinese Americans who lived on the East Coast during the time of the Civil War, 58 of them fought in the war. Joseph Pierce was brought to the United States from Canton, China, by his adoptive father, Connecticut ship captain Amos Peck. Pierce enlisted on July 26, 1862, and was mustered into the 14th Regiment of the Connecticut Infantry. He fought in major campaigns from Antietam to Gettysburg to General Robert E. Lee's surrender at Appomattox Courthouse. It is estimated that 20,000 Chinese Americans served during World War II, approximately 20% of the Chinese American population at the time. During the beach landing on Leyte in the Philippines, U.S. Army Captain Francis B. Y. repeatedly ran into the open line of fire, exposing enemy positions as they shot at him. He was finally killed, leading an assault on the last Japanese pillbox in the area. The Distinguished Service Cross he was posthumously awarded for this action was upgraded to the Medal of Honor in 2000, after a Department of Defense study concluded that he and other minority soldiers had had their awards unfairly downgraded during the war. Rear Admiral Gordon Pai A. Chun-Hoon received the Navy Cross, the second highest Navy award for combat valor, and the Silver Star for conspicuous gallantry and extraordinary heroism as commanding officer of the USS Sigsbee from May 1944 to October 1945. After his ship was struck by a kamikaze attack, causing massive fire and damage to the ship's engine and steering, Commander Chun-Hoon successfully directed his men in putting out the fires and saving the ship while continuing to fight off more kamikaze attacks. In his honor, the powerful U.S. Navy DDG-93 guided missile destroyer was named after him. It is the first and only U.S. Navy ship ever named after a Chinese American. U.S. Air Force Colonel Richard F. Humm was the recipient of 5 Legion of Merit Awards for his very significant contributions to his country. He was most notable in briefing President John F. Kennedy during the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. Humm also served in World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. Maggie G. and Hazel Yin Lee served as pilots in the Women Air Force Service Pilots flying critical logistic missions in World War II. In 2010, the surviving women of the Women Air Force Service Pilots, including Maggie G., were awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, the highest civilian medal awarded by Congress. In 1947, during the Korean War, the Marines commissioned their first Chinese American as a regular officer, Major Kurt Chuen Lee. Major Lee was awarded the Navy Cross, which is the highest medal that the U.S. Navy can award, and the second highest medal below the Medal of Honor. He was also awarded the Silver Star and 2 Purple Hearts. Lee, who was a first lieutenant at the time, helped save the lives of 8,000 fellow Marines with a forced company march through unmapped mountains at night through a blizzard to relieve a decimated company holding a crucial pass through which the Marines had to retreat at the famous Battle of the Chosin Reservoir in North Korea. In that same war, Lee's brother, U.S. Army Colonel Chu Mon Lee, also received the Distinguished Service Cross, which is the highest medal the U.S. Army can award, and second highest medal below the Medal of Honor, as well as 2 Purple Hearts. Colonel Lee died in the line of duty. The Lee brothers were the only Chinese American brothers honored with these distinguished awards. About 2,000 Chinese Americans served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. 25 died and 75 suffered serious injuries, including members of Chinese American military support. One of them was U.S. Marine Lance Corporal Victor Liu, who was killed in action at the age of 22 on November 13, 2004, during the fierce Battle of Fallujah. We are here today to pay our respects and tribute to all of our fallen heroes and all veterans in deep appreciation for their service and sacrifice.